So recently I was sent a screenshot with like from one of those Twitter's fan accounts that really dislike Melissa Gorga. So the screenshot was basically the cover, like the page cover of Jackie Beard Robinson upcoming book. I didn't even know she was writing a book, and I was just like, why is she writing a book? Like, what is it about this situation that we need to know, right? So, oh, and guys, by the way, if you do not know who Jackie Beard Robinson is, it's because she appeared maybe a couple of episodes on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, and she used to be Melissa Gorga's ex-business partner when they opened MV, the MV boutique together. So anyways, I didn't know that she was writing a book, but apparently she has a lot of things that she wants to tell. I think it's supposed to be called like something like Housewives and Lies and something like that, right? So probably she's going to expose like the lies from production, probably talk about her legal woes with Bravo, because for those of you who do not know, Jackie sued Bravo and the network. I think it was Andy Cohen, Melissa Gorga, Bravo, and is it NBC? Anyway, she sued the entire network because of that little comment that was made on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. I'm just going to paraphrase here. I don't think it was said verbatim, but Melissa explains that, you know, her and Jackie had a falling out, and that she came and took all of the clothes from the store like a thief in the middle of the night, right? And I think Jackie had a problem with the fact that it was said on the show that she was like a thief in the middle of the night. For my part, I never really felt like it was said in that way. Like I always thought that it was said figuratively and not literally. Like, you know, that's an expression, you know, taking something like a thief in the middle of the night. So, but for Jackie, she saw it as like, oh, you know, they're trying to tarnish my reputation because I actually took the clothes in broad daylight and this and that and the other. But it's like, Jackie, you have to remember you're on a reality TV show. So it's possible that things might be said in a way that it's just for like, you know, shock value or drama effect. And most people had never really like, and I'm not throwing any shade here. Like, I don't want to say that, you know, she doesn't have any credentials. I know she has a pretty extensive resume and all of that. But just because you have an extensive resume does not mean that a lot of people have heard of you before, right? Maybe people that travel within those circles, they know about you. But I'm just saying, like, just like people that are watching the show, like, I'm pretty sure they didn't know who Jackie Beard Robinson was before her partnership with Melissa Gorga. So to me, I think that maybe Jackie's ego kind of took a hit, and she didn't like the fact that they said that, and she tried to sue the network, and she lost because I'm assuming the judge was kind of like, well, I don't know, it's not a big deal. And she tried to sue like all of them, and she lost on everything and every count. And I'm not going to go into all of that, guys. If you listen to the Bravo docket, there was like an episode where they cover that like lawsuit with Jackie, and it's also available online. To make a long story short, she sued the network, she sued Andy and Melissa Gorga, and she lost. And at the end, Bravo countersued Jackie Beard Robinson, and she had to pay their legal fees. And I think the legal fees were something like $67,000 to $70,000. So, you know, that's a lot of money. I don't know if it was paid already. I don't know if it has been settled. But basically, the law has determined that Jackie Beard Robinson does not have a case in that matter, right? So then I was thinking, okay, I'm being sent this, so it's just a matter of time that somebody wants to talk to Jackie because she's writing a book, right? So last week, Jackie Beard Robinson appeared on Kim D's Patreon. Who better than Kim D to have Jackie on? Because if you guys remember, Jackie took the clothes from the store and brought the clothes to Kim D's store or house or whatever. But basically, she brought the clothes to Kim D and for Kimdi to resell them, right? And which was like completely legit, by the way. I'm not implying that it was done like in a sneaky way. The judge basically kind of like dissolved the partnership between Melissa and Jackie retained the right to take the clothes from the boutique and sell them if she wanted to. So that was part of like the court order. So Kimdi had her on her podcast, and it was, last week, the week before, I should say, she had John Fuda on, and a lot of people were mad, and it was very controversial because people don't like John Fuda. I do, but a lot of people don't. So, some people were quitting her Patreon because of that. Now, the following week, she had Jackie Beard Robinson. And for my part, I'm not super interested in Jackie. I think that at this point, she's kind of like beating a dead horse. But nevertheless, this is Kim D's Patreon, so she can interview whoever she wants, right? I have to say, it was not a bad interview per se, but there's just a few things that I did not like, and this is my opinion. I don't think that necessarily what Kim D did was like wrong. She gave her the chance or a platform for Jackie to express herself, which is totally okay with me. But there's one thing I didn't necessarily understand. Jackie had this person with her. I think it's a friend of hers named Susie. And I don't know who Susie is. I think she's just like a super good friend of Jackie Beard Robinson. And you guys know Kim D, right? She was a villain on Housewives for a reason. She can get a little catty at times, and she even prefaced it that way. She said, okay, I'm about to get catty, guys. I have a question, right? So then she goes on and starts asking Jackie Beard Robinson and Susie, like her friend Susie, basically about Melissa's work ethic, basically asking her about the way that she dresses, if it's appropriate or not, if it's a good example for her daughter or something like that. And, like those types of like sewing circle type of questions, I like to call them. So anyways, I'm going to spare you guys all of the details, okay? But I thought it was very interesting that Susie did a lot of the talking. Susie, Jackie Robinson's friend, she did a lot of the talking. And she was basically implying that Melissa does not have great fashions and that she doesn't really know how to dress and all of that. And I thought it was interesting because, I don't like to talk about looks and about people and all of that. But Susie was like wearing a turtleneck, like, those gray old, that the ones that kind of seem like they're itchy type of like, turtlenecks. And she had a pair of jeans on. And, her hairstyle was just like not the most updated hairstyle, right? And this woman was sitting there having a ball trashing Melissa Gorga. So you can't make that stuff up. I had to laugh and I had to listen carefully, and I was just like, that's funny because it's not like you are like, a fashion statement yourself right now and you're making fun about somebody else's fashion. So I thought that was a bit comical. But anyways, I digress. When it came to the whole thing, they basically implied that Melissa Gorga does not have a good work ethic, that she was hardly ever at the store, that, she was just kind of like paying herself from the cash register and that kind of stuff, that, the implication was made on several occasions that Melissa Gorga was basically lazy. That's what those women wanted to put out there, right? And Jackie didn't do most of the talking, which is kind of surprising because, it's your book and you were the person who was on the show. But meanwhile, she brought her friend with her friend Susie, who is very opinionated, and she became her mouthpiece. And there's a lot of stuff that, Jackie wouldn't say that Susie did say, and Jackie was just kind of sitting there laughing and just like quiet. Like she would add a little bit to the conversations, but, she left the cattiness for her friend Susie, right, to do. So, you know what, guys? When people fall out, they always have the worst things to say about you. once there is a fallout. They can't remember one kind thing that you ever did for them. It just becomes this person is lazy. This person is competing with her daughter because, she doesn't know how to dress appropriately. This person is doing this. She was never at the store. She was just like very demanding, a little bit of a prima donna, like that kind of stuff. That's what they were saying. And you know what? At the end of the day, granted, that's her experience with Melissa at this point in time. However, you know how I like to offer a little bit of a balanced view, and things from the past tend to be where I like to find my information a little bit, because it's interesting to find out what that person's opinion was before the falling out. Right? And I know that they're not going to do that on the podcast because, I've said it before, no shade to Kim. I really don't think that Kim D is a big fan of Melissa Gorga. I'm unsure why. I don't know why she doesn't like her. I do tend to believe that it's because Melissa now has a store and Melissa has a fashion show every year, and Kim D's store and fashion shows used to be like the main event of the show. You know what I mean? The women would get their dressed by Kim D, and the posh store would be a meeting spot for a lot of the women. So MV is clearly that now. Like the women shop at MV, Melissa gives MV and gives bag and all of that, and she has like an amazing fashion show. So I think that at this point it might be a little bit of jealousy on Kim D's part, and maybe that's the reason why she doesn't really like Melissa Gorga. But I will say this. When it comes to Jackie Beard Robinson, she wants to put out the narrative that, Melissa's not a hard worker, that Melissa doesn't own her store, that Melissa never owned the store. But there was an operating agreement between the two of them. Right? And from what I understand, Melissa owns the store right now, right? So I don't know. There's like a lot of conflicting information out there, but guys, you can do your homework, and there's a whole podcast dedicated to this subject only called the Bravo Docket. So I think that, this is very fair if you want to put the right information out there. So now I'm just going to read you a little article that I found online that was basically written in 2016. And this is basically Jackie's opinion of Joe Gorga and Melissa Gorga before they had the falling out. So here it is. Luckily, Melissa hasn't had to forge this new path on her own. She had the help of her business partner, Jackie Beard Robinson. Quotes, I respect her a lot, and I like her demeanor with people. I like the way that she dresses, and I like her ideas. Like when she told me about her inspiration with MV and what she wanted to put in it, I could really envision that being a great thing in New Jersey. I just could see that could be a real winner. Jackie recently told the Daily Dish over the phone. She watches and she observes. She knows her market. She knows what she can sell. The pair first met when Melissa walked into Jackie's boutique in Delray Beach, Florida, Ginger, now known as Atmosphere on the Ave, with her husband, Joe. They came in and I was like, oh my God, it's Melissa Gorga and Joe Gorga, Jackie said. The two hit it off and kept in touch over the years, with Melissa even doing a photo shoot for Ginger in the Bahamas. Melissa eventually approached Jackie, who has a background in marketing and sales in the fitness industry, with the idea for Envy. Given her busy schedule as a mom and wife, Melissa thought it would be good to have Jackie's help in opening up the store. Quote, I thought about it and I said, yeah, I like challenges and this should be one, Jackie said. She is a very good friend of mine. She is a dear person to me. And I love Joe. He's very funny. It was a good combination. It was a good thing. I think we've done well together. Though making the transition from friends to workers can be challenging, Jackie said that it has only strengthened her relationship with Melissa. I just have a deeper respect for her now, even more because she is really a great person. She's a hard worker, Jackie explained. I'm really impressed with the way she listens to what we have to advise her, the advice that we give her from a business standpoint. I respect her a lot because she does put in the effort. She is in the store. She actually works in the store. She works a lot outside of the store. So she's pretty amazing to me. I've only grown to like her even more after working with her, I've got to say. If you think Jackie's affinity for tutus wouldn't mesh well with Melissa's love for more form-fitting dresses, you'd be wrong. My philosophy with clothes is me. I can change my mood without actually changing who I am. I love to make people smile. Melissa's probably pretty much the opposite. However, the road to Envy's opening featured earlier this season hasn't been completely bump free. We did see Jackie and Melissa butt heads a bit over the boutique budget. That was from earlier on when we were just opening and we were still trying to discover who our clientele was. It's a little stressful when you don't know your clientele and you're trying to budget your money so you can reach all walks of people, Jackie said. We've had that discussion and we still have that discussion, and it's a discussion that we'll probably always have. But we respect each other's opinions about it. We always meet somewhere in the middle. That's the good thing. We get it. We understand each other. So then she continues and says that she's a fan of RHONJ, and Jackie admitted that it's difficult to watch Melissa become involved in the drama on the show, especially when there's false accusation made against her. And she advises for people to take whatever's going on with a grain of salt. And she said, I just don't want things to bother her because she is too good of a person. Those are Jackie's words, right? She thinks that Melissa is too good of a person and that, she really cares for her. You heard it from her own mouth. That's what she said. She's a hard worker. She was always in the store. She knew what she was talking about. She was kind to people. She had a lot of great things to say about Melissa back in 2016. So I just thought that you guys would enjoy that a little bit. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that Jackie's only doing this now because, she's trying to promote her book? And maybe what happened on Housewives is, controversial enough that maybe she'll be able to make some sales, right? And to sell her book. For my part, I know I'm not buying it. I'm not going to buy the book. I'm not interested in the story. I think that Jackie just kind of needs to move on at this point when it comes to the whole thing. But hey, let me know what you guys think in the comments.